friends, it's Catherine Ewing here from Sacred Heart Alchemy. Um, it finally got nice here, so I went out for a walk today. And as usual, when I'm walking, it's like my energy starts to move and my thoughts start to move, and um, I start to process things. And often, very often, what happens as I'm walking is that I get some recognition of the themes that have been coming up in my work with my clients, in my conversations with colleagues or friends, or even just in people with passing that I don't really know very well, from total strangers to the people who work at the local convenience store. And, you just hear certain words, and they were sort of um, bumbling around in my mind today as I was walking. And as I was sort of saying them to myself, I realized I love playing with letters and words and patterns and puzzles. And so I was doing this little puzzle thing in my head. And I realized that the first letter, if I arrange the words in a certain way, that the first letters of the words created the word shadow. And I thought, isn't that cool, right? Because of course we all have our shadow. We all carry around, the heaviness, the emotional baggage, the stories, the limiting beliefs that become the things that operate below the surface of our conscious awareness. And that's what our shadow is. We get reactive, we get triggered by things that we don't even realize, because it sort of happens behind us, right? In our shadow, below the level of our conscious awareness. Other people can see our shadow really easily, but we can't, because that thing with the shadow, when you turn around to look at it, it's not there, right? So we're not so good at recognizing our own shadow. But anyway, I just thought it was really kind of fun and interesting that the words that were running around in my mind as the themes of the things that clients and other folks were talking about this week could be rearranged in that way. So I thought I would do kind of a short tapping script on these words, just not in depth, really, just on the words themselves, to maybe start to move them out of your energy system. We can certainly go into each one in much more depth at another time, but I thought I'd just jump on and do a quick video. So let me tell you what shadow stands for. So the S in these last couple of weeks has stood for sadness. There's a lot of people talking about their sadness, about things that have happened in their lives, about their relationships, about not being where they thought they might be at this time in their lives. And then the H is for hurt, right? Again, people talking about the ways in which they have felt hurt. And there's a lot of other words that we could use around that: betrayed, right? Unsupported. But that doesn't fit into shadow, and hurt does. So ways in which they were hurt as children, or ways in which they feel hurt, again, in their relationships or in their job, or even just how their body is hurting, right? So that's a whole nother expression or way of thinking about the word hurt. And then anger, clearly that's one that comes up a lot in the work that I do, and just in conversation with people, whether they're angry about our political situation, or they're angry that it's, the weather's been so crappy, or much more seriously, they're angry about ways in which they've been treated or dismissed, or again, unsupported, not cared for in their lives. The D can be either for doubt or disappointment. Very often it's for doubt, but in this theme, again, that I've been hearing the last couple of weeks, it feels to be more about disappointment. Again, that disappointment in how relationships in their lives have fallen apart, or disappointment in how their family may not be supporting them, or disappointment that their health has failed them, or perhaps they've lost a job, or disappointment in themselves for things that they have done or that they haven't done. The O in shadow stands for overwhelm. That's the one that's really coming up, again, very, very strongly in these last couple of weeks. People just feel like there's too much emotion, too much to do, too much information, too much to take in, too many emails, right? Just overwhelmed with information, emotions, obligations, Another O word, right? So we're all feeling a little bit of that. And then finally, the W is worry, um, about all the things that we just talked about, but worry about finances, worry about health, worry about children, worry about aging parents, worry about jobs, worry about, finances. So there's so many aspects of that. So let's just go in. Again, I said I would keep this quick, and I see I'm already at 5.5 minutes. So quick is not really my thing. But anyway, stay with me here. So even though I have all of these emotions bubbling up for me: shame and hurt, anger and disappointment, overwhelm and worry, I deeply and completely love and accept myself and all of my feelings. Even though it feels so heavy and I'm carrying all of these emotions around with me, it feels like a backpack full of rocks on my back. I deeply and completely love and accept myself and all of my feelings. Even though I have all of this stuff in my shadow, these emotions, these stories, these beliefs that don't serve me, this sadness and hurt, this anger and disappointment, this overwhelm and worry, I deeply and completely love and accept myself and all of my feelings. All these emotions, such dense and heavy emotions, this low vibration energy that wears me down. It exhausts me and it exhausts my body. All this adrenaline, all of this cortisol that runs through my system all of the time. It's wearing me down and I feel exhausted. All of this sadness, all of this hurt, all of this anger, all of this disappointment, the overwhelm, and the worry. I can't seem to shake it. I seem to have it all the time. It's so hard to relax. It's so hard to let go. It's so hard to feel peaceful and calm on the inside when I have all of these things going on. I never feel like I can just relax, like I can just let it all go. My mind wants to keep reminding me, right, of everything that I have to be thinking about, everything that I have to be doing, everything that I have to be fixing, everything that I have to be worried about. And I'm carrying so much sadness about things in my life that haven't worked out the way I would have wanted. I never thought I'd be in this place right now with my health or my job or my relationship or my finances or my living situation. This isn't what I planned for or expected, and I feel really sad and disappointed about that. And I'm hurt that people who I thought I can count on haven't been there for me. People who I thought had my back haven't supported me, or they've betrayed me for reasons I don't really understand. They've just let the relationship go, or they see me as too needy. It's really hurtful to know or to feel like I don't have anybody who I can really lean on. I don't have anybody who can really support me. And that people who I thought loved me and cared for me and would be there for me haven't been. And not only that, it's not just that they haven't been there, but they've been actively mean or abusive, or they've betrayed me in ways that I just can't even fathom. And that's really hurtful to me. And it makes me angry because I've tried to be there for everyone else. I've always tried to help people out. I've tried to stay positive. I've tried to stay upbeat. I've cared for people when they've needed help. I've been generous with my time and my energy and my money and my talents. And I feel like none of that has come back to me. And that makes me really angry. I get angry at my boss. I get angry at my spouse. I get angry at my kids. And sometimes I even get angry with God. And then, of course, I feel terrible because we're not supposed to get angry with God, right? But that's the truth. Sometimes I just feel angry with God. I feel like I've been forgotten. I've been left. And I know I'm not supposed to feel that way, but the truth is, I sometimes do feel that way. And I feel disappointed and let down. I feel disappointed in other people. I feel disappointed in myself. I feel disappointed that my life hasn't turned out the way I imagined, or that it's not going the way I thought it would. I feel disappointed that I'm not further ahead, that I'm not more on my path, or that I don't know my purpose, or that my finances aren't where they want them to be. And I'm disappointed that all these things I've tried don't seem to be working and don't seem to be helping. And that brings me right back to being disappointed in God, because I'm a good person and I'm doing the right things, or at least I think I am, and I don't understand why these things aren't working for me. And that leads to really deep and great disappointment. Oh, and sometimes I just feel so overwhelmed. I have so many obligations. I have so many things that I'm responsible for, between work and kids and aging parents and a relationship. Did I mention work and kids? I just can't seem to catch a break. The to-do list is endless. It just goes on and on and on. And I never feel like I can take time for myself. And that makes me feel resentful, because I give and I give and I do and I do, but always for someone else and never for myself. And I don't really feel appreciated. I don't feel acknowledged for all of my efforts. And I'm so tired of running around like an idiot, taking care of everybody else. Always something else to do, always another deadline, always another obligation, and never feeling like anyone really recognizes or appreciates all that I'm doing. And finally, I worry. I have so much worry about all these things that I just talked about, right? It creates anxiety because I'm worried that I'm not getting it done. I'm worried that I'm missing deadlines. I worry that I'm forgetting something. I worry that I'm disappointing someone. I worry that I'm going to forget something important and that there's going to be some terrible consequence. I worry that I don't give my kids enough attention. I worry that I give my kids too much attention. I worry that my relationship isn't really nurtured in the way I want it to be. I worry about my parents and their aging and their health and what's going to happen to them within the next few years. And I worry that I'm not doing as well as I could be at my job, and that somehow there's going to be some negative repercussions about that. Oh, so much worry, so much sadness, so much hurt, so much anger, so much disappointment, so much overwhelm, so much worry. And all I can do right in this moment is just recognize that that is the truth for me in this moment. And I can do this tapping, and I can move this energy, and I can quiet my mind and calm my body, so that perhaps some of those emotions and the thoughts and the feelings connected with those emotions can begin to settle down, so that I can take a breath, so that I can turn down the dial on my busy mind. I can turn down the dial on the part of my brain that is always telling me that I have to be running or doing or fixing, and just take a breath and give myself permission to breathe and relax. Take a few minutes to calm my mind, to quiet my mind, perhaps to take a walk outside, or to say some prayers, or take a few minutes in meditation, or just have a cup of tea and stare out the window for a few minutes and just let all of it go. In this moment, I just choose to let all of it go and let myself relax and feel calm and peaceful inside of my body, inside of my mind, and in my spirit. So we'll just come back, tapping on the karate chop spot for another couple of moments. Resting your hands in your lap. And just letting that energy settle. Taking another couple of breaths. And being in that energy. All right, my friends. I hope you find that helpful. Sometimes just to say the words and to recognize the truth of what we're feeling, even if we don't jump to some, really happy or vibrant or highly energized ending, just to process what we're feeling through our body, to tell the truth and to accept ourselves in that experience can be healing in and of itself. So I hope this was healing for you, and I look forward to serving you again very soon. Bye now.